Hey, this is Brandon with Retro Archaeology. In this video, let's talk about the history of home media and focus on the earliest label you can still find and collect today. The home video format began with Sony introducing the Betamax format in 1975. This was the first ever consumer video cassette recorder system, which is where the word VCR comes from. Shortly after this hit the market, JVC, which was the Victor Company of Japan, developed and launched the VHS in 1976 to compete with the Sony Betamax. The VHS was a big deal because it could hold 2 hours of recorded media versus the Betamax, which was 1 hour. Betamax would eventually improve out of necessity in their battle with VHS, but as we know, VHS won the home video format wars. This is where magnetic video and its founder, Andre Blais, become incredibly important. Andre Blais was a Michigan businessman. Magnetic Video Corporation was established in 1968 with their headquarters in Farmington Hills, Michigan, but they wouldn't make their big mark until about 10 years later. In 1977, Magnetic Video was the first corporation to release theatrical motion pictures onto Betamax and VHS for consumer home use. Blais recognized an opportunity to tap into the VHS and Betamax formats that had been developed. He flew to Hollywood to speak with various studio executives with the goal of releasing movies on video cassettes. He got a response from only one company, which was 20th Century Fox, receiving permission to license 50 of their films for home video release on VHS and Betamax. Blais agreed to a flat fee of $300,000 and a $500,000 yearly fee to 20th Century Fox in order to do this. Now, most of the public wouldn't be starting their collections then. The home video market had to develop, and it developed quickly. Blais later started the Video Club of America, a direct mail sales operation, kind of like the original Netflix, and it provided video cassettes that were duplicated by magnetic video. This was advertised in TV Guide around Thanksgiving of 1977. The ad read, "Welcome to the world of video. Now's your chance to own your own movies." And initially, there was a registration of over 9,000 users. He's an incredibly important figure in the home video market kicking off. Another important name is someone named George Atkinson, who bought a Betamax and VHS copy of Magnetic's first 50 movies for about $3,000. He took these purchased copies and opened the video station rental company from a storefront in Los Angeles with a $50 annual membership and $100 for a lifetime membership. This allowed you to rent videos for $10 per day. It's because of this that he's considered the father of the storefront video rental store in the US. The storefront was on Wilshire Boulevard in LA. The video station later became a franchise of video stores that grew to over 500 locations by 1983 as the largest in the country. Unfortunately, from the late 70s to the early 80s, Atkinson battled legal troubles when he was threatened with a lawsuit from movie studios for renting and selling videos. The lawsuit fell apart from a US copyright law called the Final Sale Doctrine, allowing the home video rental market to continue on. Studios continued to fight this until 1981, but Congress denied their claim that video rentals should not be allowed, and the video market just skyrocketed further. Magnetic home video was really the earliest consistent label in the VHS and Betamax market. The first 50 titles were these. Magnetic Video flourished and continued to release Fox titles, while also adding titles from Viacom, Brute Productions, ABC and ITC Pictures, and United Artists. Magnetic Video was only around for a couple years before Fox would actually purchase it. The idea of home video cassettes was so successful that 20th Century Fox bought it in 1979 for $7.2 million. It's at this point that you'll see the boxes change and read Magnetic Video, a 20th Century Fox company. It was reorganized into 20th Century Fox Video in 1982, and Blais served as its first CEO. Later that same year, Fox would then merge with CBS Fox Enterprises, leading to CBS Fox Video in June of 1982. All right, so now that we've walked through that quick history, I actually want to give you a little bit of a visual history with some tapes that I have in my collection. I think not a lot of people who collect VHS may know this, but you can really see the progression of magnetic video and understand the order of when these labels came out, when the boxes changed, but that all starts with magnetic home video. Right now, I have 5 movies in my collection. I've got 2 stacks of 3, so if you're wondering why I didn't say 6 movies, it's because one of these is actually 1 movie across 2 tapes, which I'll show you in a moment. But this is what the original magnetic home video box looked like. I'm gonna just use MASH as an example. I really like this little cutout window. You can kind of just see that that's really unique to these early releases. I said that magnetic video started with 50 titles in 1977, and what's really interesting about magnetic video is on the back, on the bottom right, you can actually see the year that that particular tape came out. So this copy of MASH says 1977. This would have been the first year that a movie came out on a home video format. So I love having this in my collection. I'll show you some of these other ones as well. So I mentioned 2 tapes. So Grapes of Wrath is just too long of a movie to fit on one tape when the recording limit was 2 hours. You can see the running time is actually 128 minutes. So they had to split this across 2 tapes. If you actually look down on the bottom, there's part 1 and part 2. And on the back, this is also from 1977. So again, MASH and Grapes of Wrath, this would have been the very first year that movies were released on the video cassette format for public consumption. Really, really cool to find these, just knowing that it's really the start of something that became such a huge part of society in the rental market. So we've got Grapes of Wrath, we've got MASH. Also in this stack, I've got Fantastic Voyage. This is 1978 on the back. So magnetic video had been out for a year, already is blowing up. And you can see there's actually a different list of titles on the back of this one than there is on the 1977, because as the video market is growing, more titles are coming out. It's booming. This is actually one of my favorites in my collection. Cannot believe I found this at a record store where it was marked for only like $2. It's one of my favorite science fiction movies of all time. The first ever release of Planet of the Apes. And this is 1979 on the back. What I think is really cool that I just recently noticed is on the bottom of the tape itself, there's actually a videotape club sticker. So kind of going back to the history of everything, this tape was probably sent out as part of some sort of videotape club, maybe done through a mail order form. And you can see the really early Magnetic Video Corporation label. It's got the side label. And it's definitely a nice, heavy, solid tape. This is just so awesome to have found. I absolutely adore the Planet of the Apes franchise, and this is just a really cool piece to have. And then Vanishing Point is the last magnetic video that I currently have. 1979 on the back of this one. Awesome racing movie, and you can just kind of see the box art of that one. Okay, so that's a visual example of the original magnetic video, including the first 50 titles that were released. Like MASH is a really good example of that. You notice the years on the back ranged from 1977 to 1979. So in 1979, something happens. 20th Century Fox sees how much money the video rental market is doing, the home consumer market for videos are doing, and they decide they want to buy magnetic video. They want to put their stamp on it. So the boxes do change a little bit. I've got a copy of The Fog on VHS, and I've got a copy of The Omen 2 on Betamax. So the boxes lose the little window. You now have a full traditional piece of art. I'm gonna move this out of the way just so we can kind of focus on these. You now have a full traditional piece of art, which is what we all came to know and love. It's how titles grabbed us at the video store, was seeing the full poster artwork or custom artwork that would come later. But yeah, the window is gone. If I flip to the side of each of these, just a really important detail. Magnetic Video, a 20th Century Fox company. So 20th Century has now bought out Magnetic Video. They've put their name on it, even though they kept Magnetic on there. And these boxes look a little bit differently. We can see the Fog one actually is from 1980, totally aligns with the years I mentioned earlier. And the consistent thing that is really interesting is on the bottom, we see Magnetic Video, Industrial Park, Farmington Hills, Michigan. That address is on here, even though 20th Century Fox has now bought out Magnetic. That same address is on the original Magnetic boxes, Farmington Hills, Michigan. That is where Magnetic's headquarters were. And you see that addressed through all the different box changes, which I think is really neat. There's just that consistent element of that's where it all started. So really awesome releases here. The Fog is one of my favorite movies. You can see they kept kind of the sticker paper label, but we've got that magnetic video, a 20th Century Fox Company horizontal label there. So for a couple years they run with this box style, still a magnetic video, but 20th Century Fox also has their name on it. In 1982, the company actually changes again and changes into 20th Century Fox Video. So the boxes change to something that I love, which is this really fantastic pull-out drawer box. And gone are the magnetic video labeling. Now we just have 20th Century Fox Video. So I've got a Betamax copy of Evil Speak. You can see the boxes got bigger, actually, and have that beautiful kind of pull-out drawer. And this is still origins in Farmington Hills, Michigan, 20th Century Fox Video. Again, that was where magnetic started. It's where Blay flew from to go to LA to talk about starting the first 50 titles on the format. And you don't really realize that this links back to that original magnetic video. But it was 20th Century Fox Video for only a little while. That same year, it actually moved. There was a merger where Fox would merge with CBS Video. And again, the boxes change. So we go from 20th Century Fox, which only existed for a little while, to CBS Fox. And CBS Fox kept these beautiful big drawer boxes that I really love for a little while. So if you see the wider kind of big frame drawer boxes, know that those are earlier. You can also see like these are United Artists movies. You can see the scope of studios that were being released on this label really widened from that first kind of series of magnetic video. But again, just want to show you on the back, we got 1983, but still have that Farmington Hills, Michigan address. So all of that ties back to the original magnetic release. Eventually, the big boxes with the drawer, maybe they were just harder to manufacture or didn't hold up as well. Eventually, the big boxes gave way to that classic slim CBS Fox profile. That really became the slip that we all know and love for VHS, and really kind of stayed that way for its entire run. So in summary, you can really kind of see like a clear progression of the changing boxes with the companies changing hands. The mergers, 20th Century buying magnetic, but it all starts here. Like we start here in 1977, eventually we get here in the mid 80s, and there's all these different stylings along the way, all have that Michigan address for the headquarters, the original headquarters of magnetic video. Thanks so much for watching. I really geek out on the history of VHS, and magnetic has so much history to it. It was the first label. The first 50 movies ever put out on VHS and Betamax for home consumption. So if you see one of these in the wild, grab it. You don't see them too often. They actually don't sell for that much. There are some less common ones than others. I'm kind of growing my collection, but I always enjoy finding them. Thanks for watching. I'm a newer channel. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see. Comment. I love to start a dialogue and hear what other collectors are thinking. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and hope to keep making more fun stuff for you with some cool history recaps.